Satan is not your friend. Somebody needs to know that Satan is not your friend. Even people that follow the devil, even people who are believers of Satan and serve him, there are definite consequences to things if they mess up and even if they don't mess up. Satan is not your friend. Satan does not love you. So when you're following his path and you're doing the things that he has laid before you, just know that his only intention is to bring destruction to you. He may give you pleasures right now because he knows that the bitter end of sin has to be sweetened with pleasures and illusions to make you taste it. If you actually saw what you were doing and the road that you were heading on, then you would not do it. If you saw the end of what it is like to be in the dark clutches of sin and death, you wouldn't do the things that you do. So what Satan does is he sweetens it. I don't know if you remember when you were a kid. I remember my grandma would give me medicine and it was bitter. It didn't taste good. So what my grandmother would do is she'll put some sweetness on top of it. But I always tasted the bitter and I'll spit it out. So then she'll just pop me in the back of the head and I had to take it anyway. But guys, that's what the enemy is doing. He is sweetening sin. He's making you do these things because ultimately his goal is to have you where he is. Yes, he wants to have eternity with you, but it's not because he loves you and wants to embrace you. Hell and demons are being glamorized on television like they're your friends and they're gonna come and they're gonna help you. Demons are glamorized and they are portrayed on television as being dashing and handsome and sexy and good. But that's exactly what the enemy wants you to do. Doesn't sin feel good? Doesn't the pleasures of sin and lust feel good? That is exactly what Satan wants to do. So he'll make it be good, but he knows the end of it. He is not your friend. He's not a friend to those who's serving him. He's not a friend to those who has put their mark on his body. And he's definitely not a friend to you, saint of God, that wants to be an ain't every now and then. There are saints that want to take the S off every now and then and going over there and be an ain't and jump back over here and be a saint. But the saint is over there and he's letting you do all types of things because he knows the more you come over, the more darkened you will get. The more you come over and play with him, the more you justify your sins. The more you come over and play with him, the more you're going to see how dark things are. But I want you to know that every time the enemy gets you in his clutches to do wrong, he laughs and scorns God and says, see, I told you. And God gives you grace and mercy. God allow you to get to the place that you're going to sin at. He gives you his grace and his mercy. He protects you. He gives you his grace and his mercy as you're coming back from sinning. He gives you his grace and his mercy as you plan it again. He gives you his grace and mercy as you're thinking to do it again. But God is a just God. And eventually, he's going to have to hand you over to what it is you desire. You see, he's giving you the power of choice. So whatever it is you keep going to, he's going to let you have it. But know this, sin has a dark end. Sin is pleasant now because the end is destructive and terrible. So he lets you do these things. He gives you all these sweet, pleasant things because that's the only way you can take the bitter worm of what it is you're truly doing to yourself. And then he begins to come into your head and your mind and make you feel like this is right. And he begins to change your view and obscure your vision. And you are further and further away from God and closer to this darkened characteristic that grows in you. When you start to justify sin, it's because you're getting closer to your father, the devil. When you start to not feel anything when you are doing wrong, because you're getting closer to your father, the devil. And guys, you may say, no, I'm a child of God. Not when you're walking in darkness. God keeps his hand and his hedge around you, guys, because he loves you. But eventually, he will let you on over there to what you want. Turn away. Just know this. You'll enjoy sin, but sin is not your friend. You sleep with poison. You eat with poison. You lay with poison. You lay with a serpent. You lay with a dragon whose only desire is to decapitate you spiritually and bring you to a place of death. Turn around, guys. Turn around.